Hello everybody, how are you? Well, I'm back with another musical video where I will be ranking the CDs top, the best from bottom to top, of course, by Black Sabbath, which are, of course, one of my favorite bands. Bands have been for, well, about 17 years now. Alright, so I didn't count uh, 7 star because I don't really consider it as a Black Sabbath album. It was a Tony Iommi solo album and everything but the name, so I will not be including it. Alright, and I don't, I must say, I'm not a fan of the album either. Alright, let's start. I don't own all them on CD, but I have heard them, in via MP3 or something else. On YouTube. Alright, number 18, of course, I think most of you will agree. This is Forbidden, the weakest Sabbath album. I mean, true Sabbath album, anyway. Yeah, so this is basically an album they did to fulfill their contract, with that company, and then, it was just a fuck off album, more or less. My favorite song of it is, of course, the ballad "I Will Not Cry for You." Yeah, that's what I think. That's the title. So that's a typical Tony Martin ballad. Yeah. So the title track is not that bad, but it's a little bit tedious. MOR kind of song. So Forbidden is at number 18 from 1995. Which was actually the end of Black Sabbath for a long time. Yeah, the last album with Tony Martin, who I am a fan of. I am really a fan of that Sabbath era. Otherwise, all right. At number 17, 13, their last album from 2013, of course. Well, it's not a bad album, It's not that I didn't like it. I did like many of the songs, and it was nice to hear them return to the old sound, with Ozzy, of course. That simply isn't so, exciting, should I say, as their earlier albums with Ozzy. So, yeah. Yeah, and some of them are directly, rehashes of old tunes and old riffs. So, I don't actually now remember the titles of them, so I will not be mentioning them separately. But yeah, it's an album I first enjoyed, listening. I remember I was in the gym and I got that whole album on my phone back then, and yeah, I was kind of, because I didn't expect that much. I was pleasantly surprised, But if you when you compare them to their best albums, it's not as good simply. Alright, number 16. This album gets a lot of hatred, and of course it's not among their best albums. And it was the last with Ozzy for a long time, like over 30 years. So Never Say Die at number 16. Yeah. So Never Say Die has some very interesting tracks. It's They try a lot of different things, That's what I admire, With for instance, Air Dance was very like mellow and jazzy and interesting. And of course, Junior Size is my favorite track. It's really strong. Actually, one of the strongest Sabbath songs, I would say. But otherwise, the other songs don't really hold up, as much as those two, I'd say. Uh, A Hard Road is not so bad, of course. Never Say Die, the title track is kind of you know, poppy or so kind of. Yeah, so number 16, Never Say Die from 1978. Number 15, Cross Purposes, the last proper album with Tony Martin made from 94. Yeah, I do enjoy most of this album, has some really nice ballads like Dying for Love, for instance, and or Cross of Thorns, which are really some of the finest that Sabbath has done, really. And Tony Martin's singing is at its best here. Uh, but some other songs don't hold up, and the whole album has kind of suffers from that mid 90s overblown overblown for production, maybe, yeah, a little bit too much. But it's still a rather fine album. I mean, yeah. From here on, there are no bad albums. So at 15, Cross Purposes. Number 14. Alright, this is the first one on the list that I actually have on CD. This is It's Born Again. Have to hold up like that or it will reflect. From 1983. It's the only one with Ian Gillan, so it's very interesting because of that, because he really adds a lot of himself, to the sound, not just the singing, but the songs as well. I can. It's almost like I'm listening to Deep Purple and Black Sabbath at the same time. You know, only songs here that are typically Sabbath, I would say, are Disturbing the Priest, which is the best song here, and well, Digital Beach Zero Hero is a little bit too much, rapping. Born Again is the title track is also another very nice song. Hotline and Keep It Warm are alright, just Stonehenge, the Trashed is a nice song, but it's not very Sabbathy. It's more like something that Ian Gillan would do with his own band. Stonehenge, the instrumental, fair enough. So that's Born Again. And at number 14. At number 13, Headless Cross from 1989. Well, I originally wanted to rank it a little bit higher, but then, I can't change my mind because I favor Tear over this album, actually. But it's a very, very solid album. Some very fine vocal melodies by Tony Martin. Yeah, nice playing by Jeff Nichols also on keyboards on that title track. And yeah, Lawrence Cottle is actually playing bass, the only time that he played it on a Sabbath record, and you can hear the difference in sound between him and the previous bass players, which it has a more of a melodic, perhaps full sound, his bass. So the best songs here are the title track, When Death Calls, and Nightwing. Yeah, definitely Nightwing is very fine, nice, like gothic song, almost with a Renaissance like feel, or yeah, a medieval feel. And Cottle's bass, sorry, has really comes out nicely there. Gives it a really nice feeling. That was Hellas Cross, and number 12, that was from 89. And number 12, another Tony Martin, the first one he did, Eternal Idol. Well, many people I bet would put Eternal Idol higher, but I think it's high enough at number 12 because Even though it has some very good songs, it still has suffers from that 80s, mid 80s kind of pop rock or whatever you call it, power rock, power metal. Yeah, uh, 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 some songs are very generic. For instance, The Shining starts off well, but then it just settles into that same rhythm. Do, 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 do. So, there isn't that much else to it. And also the verses are sung a little bit too fast. The melody isn't, you know, very, very good. I mean, those parts. The old man who sees everything he wants to see. I don't like that kind of singing. So, the title track is very, very dark, very dark. One of their darkest songs, really. But I guess, I don't know, my favorite song would be Ancient Warrior is pretty nice, especially the chorus. He's the king of all kings and the keeper. So that's, yeah, one of my favorites there. Maybe Glory Rides, not bad. Yeah, alright. At number 11, for another CD that I do own, another album on CD, Dehumanizer. So this is a Dio comeback from '92. So the same lineup from that did Mob Rules did this album. Yeah. So unfortunately, this comeback didn't last very long. I say unfortunately because I did always enjoy Dio singing with Sabbath and doing his songs with them. Being active in songwriting as always, not just the lyrics but the vocal melodies as well. Because Tony Iommi, we know that he never wrote vocal melodies. He just wrote the instrumental melody, the riffs, the solos, all that. So Ozzy was the one who wrote them first originally, then Dio, Tony Martin, So anyway, this is a album that I do enjoy, but it's a little bit too heavy at times. It becomes overwhelming after a while. But the first track, Computer God, is definitely a classic. One of their very best songs, really. And also, After All of That is a very good song as well. TV Crimes, it's not bad. Letters from Earth is kind of, exhausting. Master of Insanity is pretty good, but I don't like the way Dio sings. He just shrieks too much, and that's the problem on almost entire album. Time Machine, nice song. Sins of the Father is pretty good, I guess a little overlooked anyway. Too Late, a nice ballad, and yeah. Buried Alive, maybe the weakest track, I don't know. Or so all in all, pretty good album, yeah. So after this, it was the last album with the name Sabbath, Black Sabbath that Dio did with them. He did do one more much later, but they were called Heaven and Hell back then. They were not allowed to call themselves Black Sabbath. Ozzy's wife blaming on her. I didn't really like that album. Yeah, let's mention it too, since it's virtually a Sabbath album in everything but the name. I didn't really enjoy it, unfortunately, because back then Dio had really emptied his tank of ideas, so he was just coming up with the old stuff, old rehashed, yeah, recycled melodies and all that lyrics. All right. So Dehumanizers, number 11. Number 10 is the first album, Black Sabbath. So why I put it so low? Well, I'm not sure. Just simply that it's kind of too bluesy for my. It doesn't have many songs. It's a fine album still, but um, apart from maybe the title track, NIB, is my favorite track there. Well, the others are just alright, Sleeping Village and Behind the Wall of what is it called? I don't Sleep, yeah, that's right. I don't know, it's a pretty good Fairy Swear Boots also. But it's not, I don't know, it's their first album, so that says everything. Alright, and that was Black Sabbath from 1970. From at number 9, this is actually one of my favorite albums, one of those that I got first by them. It's Tear from 1990. So that was the third album with Tony Martin. So why I really like the album is that it's very melodic, but the lyrics are also more exciting and interesting because the first part four songs are inspired by kind of Levantine, let's say, folklore and mythology and stories. There, for instance, Sabbath Stones is a great song, which is about the Ten Commandments, the tablets, and yeah. So Anno Mundi, the first song, I'm not sure what it's about. It's very nice. The way it starts very slowly, quietly, and then just explodes. Is wow. The only thing that is not so great on this is the production. Yeah, then we have the kind of more Scandinavian like mythology part with Odin's Court, a very nice song, beautiful, and Valhalla, which is like more a rocker. And then a really nice ballad, Feels Good to Me, which I think also gets a little bit too much hatred by some Sabbath fans, maybe. And finally, Heaven in Black. So not they're the best one, probably the weakest on the album, but still, it's pretty good. I mean, it's a decent song. So, Tear at number 9. Number 8, this album also gets too much hate, I think, Technical Ecstasy. But it's one of their most diverse albums, one of their most melodic as well. You have the ballad She's Gone, which is really beautiful, with the acoustic guitar and the strings. And you have You Will Not Change Me, You Will Not Change Me, which is just an amazing song, really. A kind of anthem to remaining, the same, a dude, a guy, not letting your woman change you or anyone really, the society. So there are some pretty good songs here. Dirty Women also, yeah. All Moving Parts, Stand Still, I also like. So it's pretty strong album actually. Number 8, Technical Ecstasy. At number 7, uh, we have, sorry, we have one of my also early favorites, Mob Rules, 1981. So this was the first one with the lineup of Dio and Vinny Appice on drums. So yeah. Mob Rules. What else? What can I say? Just a really, really, really good album. Turn Up the Night, Voodoo, The Sign of the Southern Cross. Wow. The Mob Rules title track is short but pretty good. Country Girl, one of my favorites, really. Sabbath love songs or ballads. Then Sleeping Away is, you know, a sleeper. Then Falling Off the Edge of the World and over, really great songs as well by typical Dio classics. Yeah, Dio type. So Mob Rules at number 7. And number 8, we have another Dio. Led, the first one album, Heaven and Hell. Oh well. From 1980, yeah. Mob Rules is from 1981, of course. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, this album really kicks off in a really pleasant way with Neon Nights and then Children of the Sea, really nice, soothing, but also rocking song. Then comes Lady Evil, which is a letdown. Yeah, let's be real, it's a letdown. And then Heaven and Hell, really, one of the best Sabbath songs. Wishing Well, also good, solid. Die Young. Walk Away again is not so good. And Lonely is the Word is really fabulous as well. Some great shredding by Tony Iommi. Alright, let's speed it up. At number 5, this one I don't have, Master of Reality. Just a classical Sabbath album, with Sweet Leaf, of course. How can you hate that song? And Children of the Grave, I really enjoy also listening to. One that I don't particularly like from that album is Lord of This World. It's not that good, not very challenging musically. Perhaps more so lyrically. Number 5, Master Reality from 1971. Number 4 is actually the fourth album as well that I really like, Volume 4. Yeah. So it's an album that it's also quite diverse. It features there wherever, I think, first piano ballad anyway, which is Changes, which has since become world famous and yeah, covered a lot, I guess. And well, has always been one of my favorite Sabbath songs. One of the first I heard actually. Also by Wheels of Confusion is long but pretty good. Tomorrow's Dream, one of their best. Changes, of course. Supernaut, yeah. Snowblind, wow. This album should have been actually called, titled Snowblind, but since it's a reference to cocaine, so they weren't allowed to, yeah. Cornucopia, Laguna Sunrise, beautiful instrumental, Sandview's Dance, and Under the Sun, really good closer, yeah. That was Volume 4 from 1972. At number 3 we have Paranoid, it's just classic, of course. Iron Man War Pigs, the title track. That one with Planet Caravan, wow. The ultimate Get High song. So that one is simply belongs at top 3. Paranoid from 1970. And number 2, this one, well, I think most will would put it at their number 1, of course, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and it's definitely a classic. But actually, my favorite song here isn't the title song. It's National Acrobat and Spiral Architect. Those are my favorite 2 songs. But I do also like the title song and Sabra Cadabra. Those are the best, and Killing Yourself to Live. Who Are You is the weakest, definitely. They tried to experiment with synthesizers and didn't sound. It wasn't meant for them. Looking for Today, a nice song. Really. Alright, and finally at number one. Wow, this really came out very long. Ta-da! This one from 73 and this one from 75. Sabotage. So why Sabotage? Well, simply because they just went further with it creatively than with any other album. They just really topped themselves, and there's nothing else to say, really. Especially on songs like Hole in the Sky, Symptom of the Universe, Megalomania, Thrill of It All, Super Tsar, great instrumental, and The Writ. Those are the best songs. The only one that I don't particularly enjoy, but I will not say it is bad, is this one. Am I going? Yeah, insane. Alright, so. So that's the one, but that it's not bad. It's just that I don't enjoy it, the whole theme and all that. So this is actually pretty much a perfect album, actually. So another reason why it is at my number one. All the others that I already mentioned have at least one track that is not so good. But this one, yeah. Alright, so finally I'm finished with this. Yeah. Thanks for all those of you who watch this, and see you around. Bye bye.